My people, Ethiopia has joined the list of countries saying no to Nigerians. Actually, what they're saying is they are removing the option of visa on arrival for Nigerians who plan to come to Ethiopia. Visa on arrival, if you guys are not aware, is a visa scheme whereby you don't have to apply for a visa before you travel to a country. You can actually just arrive in the country and at the border of the country apply for the visa. They're saying no more for Nigerian citizens. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything you need to know about this move by Ethiopia and what you need to know if you plan to visit Ethiopia or travel with Ethiopian Airlines. If you're not aware, my name is Sassy Funke and I'm a Nigerian travel and lifestyle content creator, really creating to help Nigerians and Africans navigate travel better and smarter. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure to subscribe, click that red button down below and join this incredible family. So I'm going to be sharing two articles in today's video that's going to be shedding more light to this news. And I'd actually love to hear, first of all, your thoughts, if you've heard of this news. Do you think Ethiopia is just being mean? You guys know that Ethiopia is, as in, I think they've bid or they've accepted a bid. We've accepted their bid for our new national carrier. I'll probably do a video about that in a separate video, but how do you feel about this news? Please leave a comment below and let's have a dialogue on this. So the first article I'm going to be talking about is this one from Nairametrics on the 4th of October. The title being, Ethiopia stops visa on arrival for Nigerian travelers, insists on yellow fever card. So the article goes to say, barely 2 months after the UAE, United Arab Emirates, changed its visa policy for Nigeria and some other African countries, Ethiopian Airlines has followed suit. In an email sent to its Nigerian travel partners, which was seen by Nairametrics, Ethiopian Airlines said Ethiopia, the country, has stopped visa on arrival for all Nigerian citizens, right? In the email signed by its management in Addis Ababa, travel partners were advised to inform their clients about the change in policy. The airline said, henceforth, passengers are to obtain their visa at the Ethiopian embassies in Abuja before traveling to an East African country, unlike in the past when travelers were issued a visa on arrival. The email read in part, please be informed that effective immediately, no more visas on arrival for Nigerian citizens. The airline was, however, silent on the reasons for removing the country's citizens from its visa on arrival regime. But a source close to the Ethiopian embassy in Abuja said this may not be unconnected with some bad characters regularly displayed by some citizens of the country in recent months outside the country. Okay, that point, whenever they always find a reason to say bad characters, I'm not always a believer in it. I feel like it's like the easy thing for people to say, so we need to be very careful of even accepting or sharing this, I guess, news that has not been verified by the entities themselves. To move forward, besides, Ethiopia also made it compulsory for Nigerian citizens and 42 other countries, majorly from African countries, to present their yellow fever vaccinations at any of its borders. So again, they're saying in addition to this, I guess this change in regime for Nigeria, other countries have also been affected, and you also need to now provide your yellow fever vaccination card at the border. It goes on to state that some of the countries removed along with Nigeria are Angola, Benin, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Chad, Cote d'Ivoire, Congo, DRC, Equatorial Guinea, Ghana, our brothers and sisters right beside us, Kenya, Liberia, Mauritania, and Niger. Goes on to say other countries like Rwanda, Brazil, Paraguay, many others. Anyway, I won't mention all of them, right? So automatically you think, okay, if there are other countries, it can't be a Nigeria thing, right? So it's, it eludes that it's not specific to Nigerian citizens or to the behaviors of Nigerians, because if so, it would only be Nigeria that's affected. But there are even countries that are not in Africa that are also affected by this new regime. I'm now going to go to another article, a more recent article, which I feel is very important to shed more light. This article is from on the Premium Times, and it was shared on the 7th of October. The title goes, Ethiopia suspends visa on arrival over security concerns. I'm really happy I'm sharing this particular article because I think it's important, to also give more context to the reasoning behind this move so that, again, it's not a Nigeria thing, because we're tired of it always being a Nigeria thing. The article goes, the suspension applies to nationals of all countries bearing standard passports who seek entry into Ethiopia are not specifically targeted at Nigerians. The government of Ethiopia has announced the suspensions of visa on arrival for non-resident foreigners at all points of entry into the country over security concerns and the current political situation in the country. The new temporary visa restriction, so they're saying it's temporary, came into effect on the 29th of September 2022. The Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I think it's very important, on Thursday made the announcement, right? They're the ones that are saying that this thing is temporary, whilst advising Nigerians bearing standard passports intending to travel to Ethiopia to obtain the necessary entry visas at the Ethiopian embassy or an electronic e-visa through the the country's immigration and citizenship service. I'll leave that link below so you can easily click on that to try and get an electronic visa through that website. Right, so it's key to know that you can go through that website to apply, and most likely you still have to go to the embassy to finalize your application. The suspension applies to nationals of all countries bearing standard passports who seek entry into Ethiopia and not specifically targeted at Nigerians. So our Ministry of Affairs obviously has spoken to the Ethiopian government to provide this information that, it's not targeted at Nigerians. It's not about Nigeria, The ministry, as the report, are not specifically targeted at Nigerians as reported in some quarters, the ministry clarified. According to the ministry, the Ethiopian authorities have explained that the measure is aimed at better border control of the movement of persons into Ethiopia in view of the ongoing armed conflict in the northern part of the country. The measure is said to be temporary, pending improvement in the security situation in the country, and not a replacement of Ethiopia's open visa policy. This is really important. So essentially they're saying that this thing is a temporary thing, right? They know that there's an open visa policy between some African states, right? And they're just saying that when things die down, when the security measures are now in check, they're better, they would revert to revert to the, visa on arrival for Nigerian citizens. This is what I can infer from this comment or this statement. It then goes on to say that additionally, those transiting through Bole International Airport, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to other destinations or intend to briefly stop over would require a valid entry visa to enable them access hotel facilities in the city, right? So, or else would be obligated to remain in the airport pending their connecting flight. This is really important. What does this mean? Essentially, it states that if you're connecting through that airport, right, and you want to stay in a hotel in the city, you'll be required to get a visa. But if you're connecting and you're okay with staying in the airport, they probably have a transit zone in the airport, you do not require a visa. It also states the ministry also advised Nigerians against tarnishing the image of the country by engaging in actions that violate visa rules of Ethiopia. I think the ministry just said, Nigerians, just be careful too, The Nigerian government has noted with the concern expressed by the Ethiopian authorities over the abuse of the country's visa policies by some Nigerians who enter the country on tourist visas and remain even after the expiration of their visas, engaging in unwholesome activities. Interestingly, so even they've said this, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has also said that Ethiopian authorities has reported you guys, these Nigerians, some of you guys are coming to the country and overstaying. So was this part of the reason that they also enforced this? Perhaps, because why would they state this comment in this context, you know. Let me know what you think about that, actually. And actually, if you've been to Ethiopia before, or you're aware of how Nigerians behave in Ethiopia, and you have more insights, like educate us, like I'd love to hear more. Like drop that in the comment section below. Just to sort of like conclude this article, it says, it encouraged guilty persons to turn a new leaf and take the advantage of the opportunity provided by the Ethiopian National Security Agencies to participate in the ongoing registration of undocumented migrants to avoid unpleasant situations. So it means there's obviously something going on with regard to Ethiopian agency trying to actually document people that are not registered migrants, right? So, yeah. The article again talks about the crisis in Ethiopia. I'm not going to go into that because I think that's a bit much, right? But I guess that's the news. You know, I think to conclude it, as a Nigerian citizen or passport holder, standard passport holder, you will need a visa to enter Ethiopia, right? Enter, what I mean, leave the airport. If you're connecting briefly, flying Ethiopian Airlines, you are not affected by this news. You can still travel through Ethiopia and transit through Ethiopia as long as you remain in the airport. I really hope this video is very, very useful and shared insights and given context as to why this decision was made. It's key to know that, you know, they're telling us that it's a temporary move. For how long this temporary move will be, we do not know. But I'll be sure to definitely update you guys if any more news comes out. But for now, you know, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your love and support. And you know what? If you made it to the end of this video today, leave a comment and say, Sassy, we are going to Ethiopia. I've actually never been inside Ethiopia before. I've only transited through it. But Sassy, we are going to Ethiopia. That is the comment of the day. Thank you once again for your love and support. Please subscribe if you're new. Give this video a huge thumbs up. Share this with your friends and family. And of course, I look forward to seeing you all on my next video. Bye.